when they describe you and me as being dangerous. That's one thing, they are telling the truth, because we are dangerous to the status quo of this country.
Congressman Ron Paul certainly had high expectations for the Washington State caucuses, but so far he's tied for second place with Rick Santorum. Let's bring in our political reporter, Shannon Travis. He's in Seattle right now as well. At some point, we're going to be speaking with Congressman Paul, but he was really hoping for his first win in all these contests tonight. So far, doesn't look like that's necessarily going to happen.
Indeed. I mean, the Ron Paul campaign, they are hoping for their first win, Wolf, in this caucus here. I can tell you that just a few feet away from me, there's a party atmosphere. They certainly are anticipating really good results. A few hundred people that are gathered out there, and they're expecting for Dr. Paul to come out and speak at any moment. But you're absolutely right. If he pulls this out, this will be his first win in a major contest. But keep in mind, Wolf, that Dr. Paul and his campaign, their strategy is to rack up as many delegates as possible. And in all of these contests, they have been doing that. So they're in it for the long haul. That's their expectation. That's their strategy. And I just spoke with a few people in his campaign. They hope to rack up even more delegates tonight as they try and execute their strategy, Wolf.
And I take it that you follow this closely, Shannon. Money is not necessarily a problem for the Ron Paul campaign. They're raising money.
Absolutely, Wolf. I mean, they've got a loyal, passionate following. I've been out there following Dr. Paul's campaign for months now. You go to his events, and arguably he has more followers, more supporters at some of these college campuses and events than some of the others. The problem oftentimes, though, is translating those supporters who come out to these events into actual votes. So, yes, money is not so much of a problem for them. They obviously have loyal supporters, but it's getting that, translating that into votes, and that's going to be key.
Shannon Travis on the scene for us in Seattle. We'll get back to you. Meanwhile, while the candidates are watching the Washington results, they're also looking ahead to Super Tuesday and its 10 crucial contests. Ohio will be Tuesday's biggest prize. Let's check in with our national political correspondent, Jim Acosta. He's following Mitt Romney. He's in Cincinnati, Ohio right now. How did it go for Romney on this day, Jim?
Signs of confidence from the Romney campaign. I can tell you that this evening, just a few moments before Mitt Romney addressed this crowd here in Cincinnati earlier this evening, he handed the microphone over to his wife, Ann, who told the crowd that they were feeling pretty confident about what's happening in Washington State tonight. That is not something that the candidate's wife always does when there might be a razor-thin margin in a contest that was developing at that very moment. So that is one sign that they're feeling pretty good about. And then
we have now projected Mitt Romney the winner of the Washington State caucuses. Much more of our coverage and analysis right after this. Moderate what's going on. He can't really inject his own personal feelings. So when he said, just before we made our projection that Mitt Romney is the winner, when he said that, look, we'll see what happens. Ron Paul, he's got a big organization. He's got to be, he can't show what he really knows in this situation.
Sure, he can't. But his point is interesting, which is that we want to see who comes in second here, because Ron Paul has spent an awful lot of time in this state. He's the only candidate who's actually in the state this evening. Caucus states are important to Ron Paul. This was a real place where he had the potential for a victory, and it didn't happen. And I think that's got to be a disappointment for the poll people. But heading into Super Tuesday now, Mitt Romney in Ohio, again, that's the big crown jewel of Super Tuesday, is outspending Rick Santorum, Mitt Romney and his super PAC, I should say, outspending Rick Santorum 4-1. So he comes in with momentum. He comes in with money. He's going to raise more money after this. You know, you've got to say the odds look better.
He's got some momentum, Hillary, going into Tuesday.
He does, but I actually think that because he has such a significant financial advantage, the stakes are higher for him. You know, the fact that Santorum and Gingrich are still ahead in a significant portion of these Super Tuesday states means there is still this nagging dissatisfaction with Mitt Romney, and the fact that he is spending maybe 5-1 means that he's going to underperform if he doesn't win those states.
He hasn't wrapped up anything yet, but he's moving certainly in the right direction.
All
right.
Serious now.
Problem problem oftentimes, though, is translating those supporters who come out to these events into actual votes. So yes, money is not so much of a problem for them. They obviously have loyal supporters, but it's getting that translating into votes, and that's going to be key.
Serious now.
The problem oftentimes, though, is translating those supporters who come out to these events into actual votes. So yes, money is not so much of a problem for them. They obviously have loyal supporters, but it's getting that translating into votes, and that's going to be key.
I guess the revolution has arrived to Virginia, and I am delighted that it's here. It's very appropriate that the state of Virginia be involved in our revolution that's going on.
Corporations are people, my friend.
Serious now.
Corporations are people, my friend.
Serious now.
Everything corporations earn ultimately goes to people. So, where do you think it goes? What? Whose pockets?
Well, I don't think we should go to the moon. I think we maybe should send some politicians up there. But
I guess the revolution has arrived to Virginia, and I am delighted that it's here. It's very appropriate that the state of Virginia be involved in our revolution that's going on.
Max and the Fed, Max and the Fed.
Power